Alright, what is up all my junkies and addicts of the internet? It's your boy Daily Dose of Gaming here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to change your oil. So, there's a number of reasons you might want to do this. If you're local Jiffy Lube, you just don't like the people there, or, you know, if you want to use slightly better oil at a slightly cheaper cost than what it might cost over there, then this is for you. So what you're going to need for this is a 13mm socket wrench. This could be a little bit different depending on, you know, what your drain plug is for millimeter size. I'm going to be using this 3/8 with a 13mm and a slight blue tube as a breaker bar. Over here you've got your oil check. We're going to check that, but before any of that, you're also going to need some kind of oil. In my car, it's SAE 5W30. This is the Ultimate Durability by Quaker State. This is the best oil that I could find at, you know, a decent price. You're also going to need some form of air filter. Today I'm using the K&N Performance Gold oil filter. This one's a wrench off, so you might need a wrench for this. And you're going to need a oil pan or a drain pan or something. This is a cheap piece of plastic, you know, it's 10 quart. Basically you just take this little red piece out and all the oil drains into the thing and it's fine. And then you're going to need a oil drain plug, which you will install. You're going to want to get a new one of these every time. You can reuse your old one, but I highly suggest getting a new one every time that you do this. So we're going to start off by checking the actual oil. I know that I need to change mine because I know the intervals that I need to change mine, but we're going to check it anyway just so you guys can see. Sorry about that, my camera cut out. So I'm going to be showing you guys what the oil looks like. So as you can see, oh, that's icky. Hold on, give me a second here. Once you have your dipstick out, just simply take a paper towel and wipe that down and then reinsert it in. Sorry, I'm trying to do this all with one hand, so this is a little jank for me. Usually this would be a relatively simple process, but I'm making it as hard as possible for myself. All right, pull that out and let's see here. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm about halfway down. These two marks here, I don't know how well that's going to focus on camera, but there's two marks. You want it to be somewhere between the first and second mark. Usually you want it to be like exactly on the second mark. So I am running a little bit low on oil, but it's between both of them, so it's not too bad. So I don't have any leaks in oil or anything. I know that. It's just that the oil's getting old and I want to change it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. The very first thing you're going to want to do is somehow support your car, whether it's with a jack or jack stands, or you're just using ramps like I am. You're going to want to have to get your car up somehow. Most cars, unless it's a big heavy truck, you can't just easily slide under. With this Tacoma here, I might be able to get under there and get to the drain plug, but for my 08 Mustang, that's just not the case. So I had to lift it up a little, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when you're under the car. Guys, so before you actually get to draining your oil, the very first thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't done this already, start your car and just let it run for, you know, 2 or 3 minutes just to stir up the oil. That way, once you actually drain the oil, there's a lot more that's going to come out. It's going to be a little bit hot, so try to wear gloves. Try to, you know, not keep touching the oil to a minimum is what I'm trying to get at here. But basically start your car for, you know, 2 to 3 minutes, then shut it off. And this is just going to make sure the oil at the bottom of the drain pan is all stirred up and it's, you know, ready to free flow. All right, guys, so my car has been running for about a minute or two now. I'm going to give it one rev just to, you know, stir up that oil a little bit more. And that should be good. Right, guys, so now that we're under the car, we're under the very front of the car. Up here, you can see where the oil filter is, right here, this white thing. You can see I got mine done at Jiffy Lube last time, so here's their markings. Sometimes they'll write their name or the date or whatever. And then if we come down a little bit, as you can see right here, this is our oil drain plug. So whatever way your oil drain plug is angled, you're going to want to, place your oil catch pan below that. Because mine's angled this way, I have it so it's my drain pan is, angled at it. You don't want to place it directly below it, or else it might overshoot and shoot past it. So make sure that's just lined up properly. Grab your socket wrench and twist. Let's get that on there. It's on the wrong setting. Twist that. Oh, yep, that's what I was afraid of. So that's pretty stuck on, so I'm going to use this little blue thing here. I'm going to slide it over the end of this. And there we go. Now we've got a little bit extra leverage here. All right. Now that that's coming out, we should have oil flowing pretty soon. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reposition this. And this I can take off by hand now. And ready, there you go. There's all your oil. Try not to get a ton onto the driveway here. And you're just going to let that drain. As you can see, it's making a nice little pool in my oil drain pan here, but it's all going down into that hole right over there. If I wanted to, I could, in theory, reuse this drain plug, but I'm not going to. Just for, security. These do have a little gasket on them, so you could use it if, oops, getting a little bit of oil here. Let's move the pan. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so these have oil on or a rubber gasket on them. So it is a good idea to change these, because these do get very hot with the oil getting hot and whatnot. So it's a good idea to change the bolt. It's only a $2 or $3 part, so you don't really have to worry about... Son of a bitch. You don't really have to worry about the cost of that as much as, the oil and the other stuff. But it is a good idea to replace that. So now that your oil is pretty much fully drained out, I'm just going to keep letting that drain, and then I'll show you guys what to do in the next part. Alright guys, now that we've pretty much drained all the oil, as you can see it's still dripping a little bit, but as it's pretty much finishing up here, I've got our new oil drain plug here. This one obviously has no oil on it. We're just going to simply tighten that on. There we go. Now that that's hand tightened on, we can grab our little socket wrench here, switch up to on, and we can twist this. There we go. And that should stop our leak here. This is something you want to make sure you don't cross thread, because this is going to be one very expensive fix if you do end up cross-threading this bolt. So let's just make sure that's on there nice and tight. Make sure no oil is going to leak out as we're driving down the road. Alright. So now that that's on there nice and tight, you just want to make sure you clean up a little. Get all the oil off of the bottom of the car. Wherever there's oil, just make sure you clean that up. And there you go. Now you've got all your oil out of your car. It is pitch black out now, so I am using a head torch here. Basically, we're just going to unscrew the oil filter here. That's gonna come off hand tight, and it's going to get oil all over me. So let me actually roll my sleeve up a little bit here. Okay, and I can already feel the oil dripping on me.
Oh, that's nasty. Okay. Just gonna put that in there. And we're gonna let that drain for a couple minutes here. Got fucking drenched in oil right now, so that's cool. Luckily I've got a towel right here.
Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got my K&N Gold Performance oil filter here, and before you install the new one, what you want to do, I've already done it, but what you want to do is fill it with some of your oil. That way you're not running the car for the first time with an empty oil filter. This is going to help prolong the life of your engine and whatnot. And another tip is dip your finger in here, or if you have gloves, dip your glove in there and lightly put some oil around this O gasket here. That's going to make it easier to come off next time, and it's going to, ensure that you don't have any extra oil leaks or anything like that. So once you've done that and your oil filter is ready to be installed, you can go ahead and install it.
Alright guys, so up there where you unscrewed your oil filter, you can see the oil filter adapter. And what you're going to want to do is just get your oil filter up there. Find the best way to do that. Get that up there. And this is not working very well with trying to record. Just simply get that up there and screwed on. So once you have your oil filter reinstalled, you just want to make sure that that is hand tight. You can grab, if you can grab and twist it as hard as possible, that's what you're going to want to do. You don't want to use any tools for this really. As you can see, this one has a wrench bottom. You don't want to wrench tighten it, but if you have trouble taking it off next time, that's what the wrench bottom's for. That'll make it easier to come off next time, so you don't have to use a specific oil filter wrench or anything of that nature. So once that's on, you're pretty much done here. All you got to do is refill your oil up top, and I'll show you guys how to do that now.
Alright guys, very last step here. You're going to want to take your oil cap off. It'll always have this little oil canister looking logo on it. Some of them won't have your specific oil type on it, but mine just happens to. I'm going to leave that face down on the ground, so that way, there's no dirt and debris on the actual oil. Grab the side here. I find it's easier to pour if you pour it from the side here. Try not to get it all over your engine bay like I just did. And you're just going to pour it in. Oh my god. This is a lot easier with a funnel. I just couldn't find a funnel today. Would have made for a much more professional video, but hey, it is what it is. I'll clean up the oil after, and we'll be done here. Alright guys, so I'm all done pouring. I've reattached the cap here. That's nice and snug on there. The last thing you want to do before you start and run your car is check your oil level. You can do that once again just by pulling out this dipstick here. And as we can see, yep, we're good. You guys couldn't really see that because it's dark and the camera won't focus on it. God damn, I have so much trouble putting this back in with one hand. Come on. Alright, there we go. So, over the course of about 8 hours, this 20-minute project took, but hey, I eventually got it done. Alright guys, so this is how you change your oil. We're all done. Thank you all for watching. I do genuinely apologize to everyone who is going to get extremely upset that I spilled all this engine oil all over the components here. I did manage to clean a lot of it up. You can still see like residue and stuff, but I did my best to clean it up. So yeah, that's about it guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe, and let me grab my keys, start it real quick just to make sure that everything is A-okay. Okay. no lights on the dash besides door and seatbelt. We're all set, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to drop that like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.